Every family raising children needs support from their extended family and friends. If they don't have that available, someone else has to provide it, and that's what we provide. Families that are raising children can't do it in isolation. They need the help of the community. They need the help of people in the community. They may love dearly their children, but if they can't put the food on the table, if they can't put a roof over their children's head, if they're living in a car with them, this is not a good situation. And someone has to be there to give them a helping hand to get through it. Not to take the kids away from them, not to tell them how to raise them, but to support them in their efforts to provide all the basics. They provide the love and support. It's only when they get so frustrated that that falters.
I was here in September. We had 3 little children. I didn't know if they were from the same family. We had a 1, 3, and 5-year-old. And I came over to do an art project with the 3 and the 5-year-old. And they were, like most children, they were absolutely adorable. And as I was cleaning up the art project, the phone rang, and it was obviously the mom. And she was calling in, and so the supervisor on staff handed the phone to the 5-year-old, and they said, I love you too. And then she gave the phone to the 3-year-old, and then the supervisor picked up the 1-year-old and held the phone to the baby. And it was precious. The baby was just looking all around because he recognized the voice. And normally I don't ask, why somebody's here, because they're here because. And I did say at that point, why are they here? And the supervisor said, the mother is with her 7-year-old at the hospital on his 3rd heart surgery. And I just thought, wow, what an amazing parent. She had family support, she had friends, but what a smart parent to be able to completely undivided take care of her older child and know the 3 were together, they were on a schedule, they were going to bed on time, and having fun together. And eventually, as her older son got better, then she would come and take one of them out to lunch and bring him back. And so it just gave her a little bit more time not to have to worry.
Quite a few years ago, in 2002, we were seeing an increase of the families that came to us with a 2 or 3-year-old and a 6 or 7-year-old. Many of them were coming from cars, from couches in friends' houses, and it was so hard to see them come in, admit the young child, and then take the older child back into the car or the couch. Often we had the older child crying and upset because they didn't want to leave this place. They had just gone on a tour. They saw everything that was there. Why did their brother or sister get to stay? Why did they have to sleep in the car? And so we began looking for a house that we could use to give them a place to stay. We have provided that since 2002. The closing of it, due to lack of finding the proper staffing, was very hard for us because they are such valuable little people. The people who will be our next community, our next leaders, and we were making them share the burden with their families. The opening of the Dahlstrom House let them be children again through a crisis. Let them have a place of their own to come for safety and free the parent totally of the care of the children while they were working through the crisis. A smaller house, less children, but since they're in school, the need is not as great. But for the child who is homeless or going through domestic violence or relocating for some reason, it's a blessing. And they, as older children, really take possession of the home. That's their place, and they love it.
The Dahlstrom House, in November and December, we did have older children that we did turn away because we weren't open. A lot of them weren't able to have showers or balanced meals, which it would have been really nice if they could have attended.
And it has just mushroomed to this kind of environment where there's a safe place for the kids to one, be taken care of, and two, to play. And that's a sea change in terms of what kind of facilities were available when I originally started.
There is no real average day here. Children come because of something happening in their families, and they're left here by their parents, and they have a very unscheduled type of day. It is sleep until you wake up. We don't set alarms or get children up. It's breakfast, it's lunch, it's dinner, it's playtime in between. It's people always here that will listen to them, play with them, work with them. There may be no children, and there may be 12 or 14 children. They may have a lot of other children to interact with, or they may have the attentions of everybody here all to themselves. But there's no real average day. It's what that child needs who comes to our door each day, and that varies. Sometimes I go out to give a talk, and I'll say at the talk, we have 10 children under the age of 5 today. It's a busy house. And I'll walk back home, and everybody's parents picked them up, and we have no children left. We just never know. We're here and available when they need us.
The Bay Area Crisis Nursery is a place for parents who care but temporarily can't cope with their situation.